Hey everybody, today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about sustainable fashion. And sustainable in the fashion industry is such a buzzword right now. I think that we in the alligator and crocodile industry have done a pretty poor job of explaining the role that consumers play, that designers play, that manufacturers play, that tanneries and farmers and wild alligator trappers all play in conservation. And it's something that I'm really passionate about, and it's something that I contribute a great deal of my personal time to. And I would like to encourage each of you, if you are in this trade, to also start to dedicate some of your time to it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is where American alligators were many years ago and where we are now. So many of you probably know that alligators, American alligators, at one time were actually on the endangered species list. And at that time, they were listed as part of the Endangered Species Act in the United States of America. And during that time, something called CITES came into existence. And CITES stands for the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. CITES is an international treaty made up of over 180 countries around the world. The whole purpose of CITES is to regulate and make sure that there is no detriment to trade of wildlife and plants, which is called, they call it fauna and flora. And within CITES, alligators and crocodiles actually have the strictest measures of any other species falling underneath international trade. So our measures that are in place are a lot of different things. Number one, any country that engages in harvesting of alligators and crocodiles, which will enter into trade, must distribute and oversee tagging of crocodilians. Now, no other species really in CITES has these type of tagging requirements except for alligators and crocodiles. I would also like to point out that the rebounding of the species of alligators and crocodiles is also significantly more than other species that are traded underneath CITES. So that means we have, as an industry, the strictest measures placed on us. We have pretty much the highest level of compliance, and our species are all recovering from endangered species status. And actually, as a matter of fact, the reason that most crocodilians, particularly American alligator, is listed on CITES is due to similarity in appearance to other endangered species. What does that mean? Well, that means that, for example, an Indian gharial is a critically endangered species of crocodile. And the Indian gharial is something that you actually don't really see very much in the wild. However, to the layman, if there was some person out there who poached these gharials, perhaps found a tannery to tan them, which would be highly unlikely, by the way, and then were to make that leather into a product, the layman couldn't tell you what the difference is. That's why alligator and crocodiles, many of them that are traded commercially, are actually listed on CITES, is because there are checks and balances.